The second thing I want to address is heaven and hell as punishment and reward. When I first became a Christian, I had a very black and white view of what heaven and hell was. Hell was a place with fire and demons, and heaven was a place with angels and clouds. Pretty simple. But it was immature. It wasn't a good way of looking at what the information presented to me was. And I read a book called The Great Divorce, and it really kind of changed the way I viewed heaven and hell. Hell isn't a place that you go to for reading a book that might disagree with what you believe, or about if you swear, if you curse, or you do something wrong. It's not about what you do, it's about who you are becoming. And ultimately, there's a saying that, hell is a place, or heaven is a place where you say to God, your will be done. And hell is a place where God says to you, your will be done. It's a place absent of God for people who don't have anything to do with God. But God gets to keep all his stuff too. You don't get all the benefits of God without having any of the relationship with God. So the things that he created, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, these things and more aren't present in hell because they're divine. They're heaven. It's the material of heaven. So you're kind of just left with selfishness, with materialism, with anything, basically chaos. But that's what you want. I mean, not what you want, but that's the point of hell. The whole point of hell is that a person gets to live an eternity without God, and it's not as fun as they would think it was in the first place. So that's kind of complicated, and I think it would be interesting to talk about that specifically. So if you want to put some comments below, I'll answer them. Or it's a big concept. It's a big concept, and I really don't think I can do it justice in like a minute. So there you go. Part number 3, materialism and tithing. Why do you give money to church? Or why do I give money to church? Can't they do it themselves? Well, what is church other than a group of people? The idea of giving up money is not necessarily to submit to a religious power structure. It's kind of twofold. One, you can show that you care about doing what is right more than you care about having things. And this doesn't necessarily mean you give money to a church. I personally have never felt compelled to give money to a church, even though I give some money to my church. I give lots of money to organizations that do relief work. I give money to homeless people I meet on the street. I even give money to college friends who I know can't afford a meal because they're too poor. And secondly, it's about trusting God. We give sacrificially. We give more than we can afford, not because it's easy, but because when we give more than we can afford, we say, God, we trust you with our lives, and we trust you that you're going to take care of us more than we trust the fact that we could take care of ourselves with our money in our bank account. Yeah, so that's materialism, tithing. I think we live in a horrible time where we consider the amount of money we spend and the strength of our economy is related to our happiness. And we have this idea that poor people are sad and rich people are happy, and we have these television shows where we just watch rich people do rich things and we all want to be like them. But the fact of the matter is that it's not as fun as it looks. And number 4, why do good things happen to bad people? Why are there hurricanes? Why are there plagues and pestilences in the first place? And I can't get into that in the deep detail that it needs, but here's what I know. The same Bible that I read that talks about loving the poor also has a lot to say about why bad things keep happening. And you have kings, and you have prophets, and you have people like Job in the Old Testament who are good people, and they just struggle with this idea of why do bad things happen to us, especially when God's on our side. And God never says it's going to be easy. He never says, oh, let me fix this. In fact, he's got a very hard answer. And the answer is, trust me. Remember what I've done in the past. He says, things might look bad now, but I've always come through for you. And now's no time to start doubting. So remember what I've done and trust in me. The end. That's the answer. It's not waving a magic wand to make things right. It's just knowing that I'm not the center of the universe, and there might be some plans that I'm not going to be filled in on. So that should get some responses, I think. Alright, thanks. Bye.